What will the televisions of the future look like? Today we'll be taking a look at some extremely innovative designs that will undoubtedly enhance your television watching experience to a whole new level. Here are 15 concept TV displays for the future. Number 15. The Seaseed. While most TV displays have to be mounted onto a wall in order to be used, this TV stands apart due to its ability to rise out of the ground. Yeah, you heard that right. Both the Seaseed 201 and 144 are outdoor televisions that remain underground when not in use, with them then extending to a height of 4.5 meters in just 40 seconds. Once extended, the display can then be raised, lowered, and rotated by as much as 35 degrees by remote control in order to achieve the perfect viewing angle, with the screen also being especially bright so that it can work in an outdoor environment. However, considering that they come in at a price of about $700,000, don't expect to have one installed in your backyard anytime soon. Number 14. The Stuart Hughes Prestige HD Supreme Rose Edition. While most people buy TVs in order to watch their favorite shows and movies, if you're ultra-rich, then you can afford to make your TV a fashion accessory as well. So if by chance you just happen to have a few $1,000,000 of disposable income just laying around, you might be interested in the Stuart Hughes Prestige HD Supreme. That's because this 140cm TV has a display that's gilded with 28 kilograms of solid 18-karat rose gold. A gilded frame that dazzles with 72 brilliant round-cut 1-carat IF flawless diamonds, a smattering of sunstone and amethysts, and an alligator skin wrap, which is hand-sewn on the inner screen layer. And while such a screen may seem a bit excessive for many, if you do in fact like it, be prepared to pay up, as it comes in at an incredibly high price of $2.6 million. Number 13. The LG EG9900. Usually, TV displays are preset so they have either a flat screen or a curved screen, meaning that buyers have to make a choice as to which they prefer. However, the LG EG9900 makes it so that consumers can have the best of both worlds. Released in 2015, it stands apart because it can bend at the press of a button, with the viewer able to set it via the remote control so that it has either a gentle curve that is optimal for big groups or a more severe curve that's better for individualized viewing. As a result, if you're the type that tends to either be a bit indecisive or a customization connoisseur, then this TV is the perfect choice for you. Number 12. The Zeus. If you're looking for a screen that's an absolute monstrosity in terms of size, then look no further than the Zeus. That's because while most companies will make extremely large images fit across multiple screens, the Zeus makes this unnecessary due to its ridiculously large diagonal length of 940 centimeters. To put that into perspective, this is the approximate size of 2 elephants standing side by side with 2 more elephants on their backs, making this screen an absolute monster in comparison to nearly everything else on the market. Yet if you'd like one for yourself, you not only have to get a custom order from the firm Titan Screens, but also be prepared to pay well over $1 million. Number 11. The HighCan. If you tend to spend sleepless nights watching Netflix in bed, then we think that the HighCan may have the perfect TV display for you. That's because it's essentially a bed that completely closes itself off to allow users to watch their favorite shows and movies on a 178cm projection screen. This on top of the fact that the bed itself is also very innovative, with features such as a built-in alarm clock, temperature controls, and a mattress that can adjust to your sleeping position. Thus, the HighCan and its innovative screen have been seen as a perfect bed for the ultra-rich, and there have been discussions as to how it can be implemented into first-class lounges around the world. However, at a prohibitively high price of almost $40,000, don't expect to be sleeping in your own HighCan anytime soon. Number 10. The Samsung Serif. Typically speaking, televisions are meant to stand out. After all, in most homes, televisions are surrounded by couches and chairs, with the whole point being that everyone is supposed to gather around to watch their favorite shows together. However, the Samsung Serif tries to take a different approach. That's because rather than stand out, its display is meant to blend into the other furniture in the room, with the idea being that it can be placed anywhere and look like it's meant to be there. Now, Samsung manages to pull off this approach with the Serif due to a number of factors. Firstly, like many other TVs, it's completely portable, with the only limiting factor being you need to have a plug attached to it. As a result, it doesn't have the bulky cables and attachments often associated with more conventional TVs. To top this off, the Serif also has a small 61 by 81 centimeter design and is surrounded by what essentially looks like either a cream-colored or blue-colored picture frame, making it fit seamlessly with most modern decor. As a result, it's truly a great addition to any room. Number 9. The Panasonic Vitrine Transparent TV. Milan is widely regarded to be the fashion capital of the world, and thus it shouldn't come as a surprise that this was the city where Panasonic chose to unveil its concept transparent TV. Now, to be exact, it was revealed at the Salon des Mobiles, which is the world's largest and most prestigious furniture and lifestyle exhibition, on April 9th of 2019, and ever since, furniture designers have been raring to have it appear on store shelves. That's because this television, which was made by Panasonic in collaboration with Swiss furniture brand Vitrine, essentially looks like a piece of glass with a wooden frame. With this being possible thanks to the fact that it has an OLED display that doesn't need a backboard. To top this off, it even has a lighting element to enhance the viewing and ambient experience, which is directly and unobtrusively housed within the frame. And while this concept is not yet for sale, it's currently under review by Panasonic, and if they deem the demand to be great enough, they'll bring it to market. As a result, on our end, we hope they end up doing so. We're constantly adding more people to the Top 5's production team to bring you all the best content. Be sure to subscribe with notifications on and hit the like button. Number 8. The Square Display. Now, for some of you, a square display may be a blast from the past. After all, the TVs of the 50s, 60s, and 70s tended to be boxy and square-shaped, with more rectangular models not coming out until later on. However, it seemed that for a time, the squares would make a comeback. That's because in 2012, Samsung came up with a square-shaped flat-screen display, which essentially works exactly like a rectangular display, with the exception that it compresses images to a 1:1 ratio to fit its screen size. Yet rather than market them to households, Samsung thought that they could perhaps be attractive to business owners looking for advertising screens with the idea that they could be stacked in order to give images and videos interesting visual effects. However, like many ideas, what was smart in theory didn't take off in practice, and thus the idea has largely been dumped as of today. Number 7. The Seiko Wristwatch TV. Nowadays, you can watch TV from practically anywhere. After all, be it on a phone, tablet, computer, or regular TV screen, television is a lot more portable than it used to be just 10 years ago. Or so you thought. See, it turns out that Seiko was in fact the first company to create a portable TV display. And they did it not in the past few years, but all the way back in 1982. That's because it was in this year that they managed to make a watch that, on top of doing all the normal things a digital watch could do, could display TV shows on its 3.2cm watch display. Now, as you might expect, this wasn't exactly a seamless experience. After all, you still had to have a large receiver in your pocket and a set of headphones over your ears in order for it to work. And its battery life was absolutely terrible. Yet despite these drawbacks, it nonetheless was awarded the title of smallest TV in the world by the Guinness Book of World Records in 1984, thus marking a place in the history books. Yet despite its innovative design at a price of about $1,000, it never really was meant to go out to the mass market, and as a result, production eventually fizzled out. Number 6. Vertical display. It goes without saying that almost 100% of TV users watch TV shows with a horizontal screen, as without this shape, the viewing experience would be pretty poor. However, in today's day and age, the vertical screen of a cell phone has become the norm, and as a result, there's been a demand from consumers to make TVs have a vertical option so that images from a cell phone could be displayed on a TV display without being distorted. And while TV producers balked at this idea for a while, in 2019, Samsung caved and created a TV that can actually swivel from a horizontal position to a vertical one. Known as the Samsung Zero, it's currently only available in South Korea and measures in at just 107 centimeters. However, if the product becomes popular in the country, it may be sold across the world. Yet given that it comes in at a price of just over $1,600, its cost is definitely not very millennial friendly. Number 5. Samsung's Ambient mode. Most of the time, turning off the TV leaves you with a completely black screen. However, in Samsung's new television displays, they hope to do things a little differently. This is because of the company's engineers created something known as Ambient mode after discovering that it was possible to show something on a TV when it's not in use. In essence, it allows users to send a picture of the wall behind their display, then send it to the Samsung app, which then sets the screen so that the TV can blend in with the environment behind it, be that a brick wall, a coat of white paint, or a slab of marble. Once this is set, you can then overlay different images on top of it, with this including additions such as a mountain range, visual forecast, the time, or even news updates. And if for whatever reason none of these features seem interesting or relevant to you, you can rest assured that Samsung is finding new additions and applying new updates on a continual basis. Now, you may expect Ambient mode to take up a lot of power, but this isn't the case. That's because the power usage of it is so minimal that the average ambient mode user just spends $1 extra in electricity per month in order to maintain it. This is primarily thanks to ambient mode's two energy-centric features, which include a set of ambient light sensors that will adjust the screen's brightness and a feature that automatically shuts down the TV after it gets dark for about 30 minutes. Best of all, the TV display can even connect to your phone, which allows it to detect if you're in the room and turn off the screen if you're too far away. As a result, ambient mode really is the ultimate addition to any TV display. Number 4. The transparent TV. While typical household objects such as mirrors and windows may be transparent, what's not so typical is for TV displays to be transparent as well. Yet that's exactly what Chinese firm Xiaomi managed to do with their new Mi TV Lux. Largely considered to be the world's first truly transparent TV, it essentially features a completely transparent display so that viewers can see through it to the other side. Largely thanks to the assistance of transparent organic light-emitting diodes, or OLED technology, these TVs differ from regular LED TVs because the pixels self-illuminate without the need for an LCD display. As a result, no back panel is needed, and instead all the television's processing units are located in the cylindrical base of the television. This ultimately leaves us with a display that measures in at 140 centimeters and an ultra-thin width of approximately 5.7 millimeters, with the screen being capable of displaying 1 billion color combinations. Yet despite the technology behind it, many in the West have been skeptical as to whether or not this television is really practical. That's because in all of its advertising, no actual television shows are displayed. Rather, all we see are pictures of animals, which for all we know could just be simple PNG files. Now on Xiaomi's part, they claim that the TV's AI Master Smart Engine and custom-made MediaTek 9650 chip are able to intelligently optimize how the picture appears. However, if this isn't true, then what may actually be the case is that the TV images have slightly transparent quality to them, which in all honesty may just be a bit strange. Yet regardless of its practicality, this TV and its display are nonetheless extremely expensive. They come in at an incredibly high price of about $7,200. Number 3. The Samsung Frame. While the release of the Serif in 2015 may have been Samsung's first foray into creating a frame-like TV, the release of the Samsung Frame in 2017 did a better job of actually doing the Serif's original job, which was to blend seamlessly into any room. That's because while the frame has a similar design to the Serif, it stands apart for a number of reasons. First and foremost, the frame is much more modern and simplistic in its design, meaning that it can fit into a more varied amount of rooms than the Serif can. This is helped by the fact that it also comes in many more colors, putting it a step above the Serif, which only comes in cream and dark blue. To top this off, unlike the Serif, which only has one small preset size, the Samsung Frame has 5, meaning that it can fit the needs of larger rooms more easily. Yet it's its technological features that really make it superior. You see, unlike the Serif, which needs to use a black plug attachment, the Samsung Frame instead makes use of a no-gap wall mount that allows it to stay flat against the wall as a real picture frame would, with it being connected to a power source via a very discreet plug that can blend into a wall almost perfectly. It also has a feature known as Art Mode, which allows the user to select from a gallery of over 1,200 masterpieces, so that the screen has a beautiful picture inside of it when not in use, with it automatically shutting down when you're not in the room. If you're not into art, you can also opt to put your own pictures on the screen, making the frame truly unique. Best of all, due to its high-quality OLED display, the images actually look very realistic, which is a far cry from TV displays of years past. Therefore, the frame is certainly a great choice for anyone who wants a great TV. Number 2. The LG Signature Rollup TV. Generally speaking, when you buy a TV, you're stuck with its display, as it cannot be shrunken or extended once it's bought. However, LG has changed this with its new Signature Rollup TV. Now keep in mind that it was just released recently. As a result, many of the specs surrounding it have not yet been published. Yet what we do know is that it has a screen that can change its size and functionality depending on your needs. Now the screen works primarily thanks to the fact that it has an OLED screen, meaning that it doesn't need a backboard, with the rolling technology itself being proprietary to LG. As a result, the screen has 3 modes: full view, line view, and zero view. In full view, the Signature Rollup is similar to a regular TV, with the screen being at full extension with its base and speaker below it. However, in line view, the screen instead contracts to a smaller size, where it can then take on a number of other functions. These include, but aren't limited to, acting as a music player, a clock, picture frame, lighting piece, or home dashboard. Yet it's the Signature Rollup Zero View that brings it to a whole other level, as it causes the screen to disappear without a trace, leaving behind the stylish base. Yet due to it being able to connect to your phone, this base can still be used as a speaker. Now, while this TV display may seem like something you'd want to buy right away, chances are you won't be able to for the time being. That's because it's currently only available in South Korea, and at a ridiculously high retail price of about $88,000. It's far out of the price range of nearly every TV buyer on the planet. Yet if the price comes down exponentially, we could perhaps see it in homes around the world in the foreseeable future. Number 1. The Curved TV. While most of the TV displays on this list are either not yet under production, are very new, or have been smashing successes, the Curved TV stands apart for having largely deemed to be an abject failure. Why is this so, you may ask? Well, first, a little bit of background. You see, the Curved TV was first revealed by Samsung in 2013, and between 2013 and 2016, both Samsung and LG actively began to produce them. Now, the idea to have them at all had its roots in the success of IMAX screens in movie theaters and educational institutions, with the hope being that the Curved TV could replicate this experience at home. As such, a number of Curved TV models came out, with many models being offered across a variety of price ranges. Yet in 2017, both began to retreat from the idea due to the sales of these television sets being minimal, and by 2020 they almost have completely disappeared. Why did they fare so badly? Well, the primary culprit is the fact that they offer a very flawed viewing experience. You see, unlike IMAX screens, they're simply too small to actually recreate their panoramic effect. Therefore, the results were totally different, and they really only gave the viewer a good viewing experience if they sat directly in front of the TV screen. However, if they didn't, the curved angle would cause a number of undesirable effects. For one, it would pick up on any glare from the outside light sources such as windows, lamps, and light bulbs, making the screen completely unwatchable from certain angles. The curve also caused many of the letters and images on the screen to noticeably bend, making it very odd to watch for viewers accustomed to flat TVs. To top this off, the curvature made the TV look very strange when mounted on a wall, which was in stark contrast to the smooth and sleek look offered by flat-screen TVs. As a result, they quickly went out of style and are thus very difficult to find today. Watch our future playlist for more top 15 videos about the future. Sit back, relax, and binge watch all of our best future-related videos.